Hello, my name is Ken Schaefer. About 17 or 18 years ago, my wife and I did our first marriage enrichment program that we facilitated. It was called 10 Great Dates. I believe I've improved upon that program with my new program called I Do Dates. My AI personalities, Alexander and Isabella, will describe the program to you, and then I'll come back on and give you a few pointers.
Welcome to the Deep Dive. I'm Alexander.
And I'm Isabella.
We're AI team members with 60 seconds to enrich. And today, we're basically launching you right onto your date.
That's right. We're doing a quick review of the head-to-toe marriage enrichment program ideas.
And just a reminder, during the week, we really encourage you to check out the 2 daily 60-second videos on this. They show how to use your body, head to toe, to enrich your marriage.
You can find those at https://bit.ly/marriage. Super easy to find.
Definitely worth it. And looking ahead to next week, we'll be diving into something called marriage armor.
It's loosely based on the ideas in Ephesians chapter 6.
But for tonight, right now, our mission is simple. Pull out the key insights from this head-to-toe material to give you a great starting point for your date.
Sounds good. So let's start right at the top with the head.
Okay, the head. Thinking.
Exactly. Thinking before you act. Thinking before you speak. It's about really considering the impact on your relationship, on your spouse.
Right, like pausing before you jump in.
Precisely. There's wisdom in that, you see it in places like Luke chapter 14 about considering the cost, and Psalm 141 talks about guarding your mouth.
Okay, so practically speaking.
Yeah.
How do we do that? Guarding thoughts and words.
Well, the program suggests a couple of things. One is maybe seeking counsel, talking to trusted friends. Proverbs 11 mentions wisdom in many advisors, same-sex friends usually.
Right.
And maybe even more directly, actually asking your spouse sometimes, like, hey, what do you think if I said this or did this? Especially if it affects you both.
Running it by them first. That's a great filter.
It really is.
And it connects to that idea you mentioned, just pausing, especially when you're tired or hungry, right? When you're maybe not at your best.
Definitely. That pause gives you space to respond thoughtfully instead of just reacting. Okay, so from the head, let's move to the eyes.
The eyes, seeing things.
Seeing your spouse's needs. And then intentionally putting those needs first. The program suggests this might be one of the most important tips.
That feels really significant. That idea from Philippians chapter 2 about looking out for others' interests, putting them first.
Exactly. It's rooted in that idea of service, of selfless love. And it's often in the small things.
Like what kind of things?
Well, maybe, one partner just does the dishes without being asked, knowing the other is tired. Or maybe making sure your spouse gets some quiet downtime when they get home. Little things.
Yeah, those small, consistent acts of service, they really speak volumes, don't they?
They build connection.
So maybe something for you, the listener, to think about tonight on your date. What's one small way you could put your spouse's needs first?
Good question. Okay, next up, the ears.
Listening, but really listening.
Yeah, not just, waiting for your turn to talk. Being fully present, engaged.
That's tough sometimes. I know I catch myself planning my response instead of just hearing. James chapter 1 talks about this, right? Quick to listen.
Slow to speak, slow to anger. Powerful stuff. And it involves trying to imagine how your spouse feels. Like, really empathize.
And maybe reflecting that back. So it sounds like you're feeling kind of thing.
Exactly. That helps them feel truly heard, understood. It's so disconnecting when you feel like someone isn't actually listening.
It really is. Okay, so maybe tonight, make that extra effort to tune in, put the phone down perhaps.
Good call. Now, after the ears, the nose.
The nose.
Oh,
okay, this isn't about actual smells, is it?
No, not usually. It's more about intuition, your gut feeling.
Like when something just feels off.
Precisely. That little internal signal that maybe something needs attention or you should pause and reevaluate. It ties back to the head, actually, thinking about consequences if something doesn't feel quite right.
So trusting that inner sense. Some might even connect that feeling to maybe the Holy Spirit guiding you, like it mentions in John chapter 14.
That's a connection some people definitely make, yes. It's about paying attention to those nudges, which often leads us to how we use The mouth.
Okay, the mouth, words, huge impact here.
Immense power. The program really stresses speaking with kindness, with compassion, choosing words carefully.
And the flip side too, right? How destructive harsh words can be. That image from James chapter 3, the tongue being like a small spark that starts a huge fire.
It's so true. A few careless words can do a lot of damage.
So what are the positive ways? Compliments.
Absolutely. Genuine compliments. Offering forgiveness quickly. Being mindful of your tone of voice, that's huge.
Yeah, tone is everything.
And there's guidance too, like in Colossians chapter 3 about husbands loving and not being harsh. And for wives, Ephesians 5 and 1 Peter 3 talk about respect. It's about building up, not tearing down.
Intentional communication. Okay, moving down. The heart.
The heart, love, obviously, but the program frames it as more than just a feeling.
Right, it's a choice, an action.
Yes, an active choice you make every day, and it's closely tied with respect. Love and respect working together.
And again, it's often the small, consistent things, not just grand gestures.
Definitely. Ephesians chapter 4 encourages that kindness, tenderheartedness, forgiving each other. That's hard stuff.
And there are those specific encouragements too. Ephesians 5 for husbands, sacrificial love, and for wives, respect.
Both are active.
Both working towards that healthy heart of the marriage. Okay, next we've got the guts.
Guts. What does that mean here? Courage.
Kind of. It symbolizes going the extra mile. Being willing to step outside your comfort zone for your spouse or the relationship.
Okay, so doing things even when they're inconvenient. Choosing love when it's not easy.
That's the idea. Prioritizing the relationship's needs. Having that sort of inner fortitude. And, you know, the program also notes it's okay to lean on support systems here. Get advice when things are tough.
Good point. You don't have to have all the answers yourself.
Ah.
All right, down to the hands.
Hands represent intimacy, but in a broad sense, all forms of touch and connection that strengthen the bond.
Physical connection. The program mentions 1 Corinthians chapter 7 here, doesn't it? About intimacy being mutual, about giving. Yes, focusing on meeting your spouse's needs in that area, prioritizing their pleasure. It's about giving, not just taking.
And importantly, not using intimacy as like a weapon.
Definitely not. No withholding or manipulation. It emphasizes open communication about your physical relationship, which is crucial.
Okay, makes sense. And that brings us almost to the end. The knees.
The knees, these symbolize humility and service.
Oh, like kneeling to serve.
Exactly that posture, willingly serving one another in the marriage.
So practical things like taking out the trash, doing chores, helping with the kids.
All those everyday acts of service. It shows you're willing to humble yourself and meet their needs, which actually circles right back around.
To the eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Seeing the need and then the knees, acting on it in service.
It's all connected. And finally, we can't forget the feet.
Right, the feet. What do they stand for?
Well, generally moving forward together. But for tonight, the feet are about launching you out.
On your date. Perfect.
Exactly. Time to put some of this into practice.
Okay, so as you head out now, we really hope this quick tour through the head-to-toe marriage enrichment ideas gives you some good things to maybe chat about or just keep in mind.
Remember, it really is those consistent small actions from how you think to how you listen to how you serve that build a truly strong and thriving marriage.
Thanks so much for joining us for this deep dive. Go have a wonderful date.
And we look forward to exploring marriage armor with you next week. Enjoy your evening.
So there's a couple rules regarding your date. Now, first, if you have children here in childcare, be sure you come back at the appropriate time, the time assigned for you to be back by to pick them up. Secondly, and this is so important, on your date, the purpose of the date is to have fun. That means no talking about your job, chores, kids, problem solving. Just have fun. Research shows, again, that if you just take some time and have fun with each other, that will enrich your marriage. And lastly, we suggest that during the week you watch 2 60-second videos regarding this program, Head to Toe Marriage. It's found at, and you just put this in your browser, bit.ly, it's bit.ly/head to toe marriage. Each of those letters capitalized, no spaces, of course. So bit.ly, bit.ly/head to toe marriage. And that'll be a playlist. And then you can choose like the head, the eyes, the mouth, the heart. You can choose those. So listen to 2 a week. Whatever you put into this program is what you're going to get out. If you only come for the date, don't expect much. So have a fun date.